As always, the way we start this project is by writing our name and table number on the back. Then you'll pick out a template. Any template of a geometric shape works. And you are going to outline in pencil first. Please do not do this in Sharpie because you only get one white piece of paper. When you have outlined in pencil, then you can move on to Sharpie. To start this, you're going to find the halfway point and go down a little bit further and draw a horizontal line. This will be your horizon where the sky meets the ground. Then draw a zigzag line very lightly. This is where we will have the middle part of our foreground, the beginning of our foreground, and the very back of our foreground. Now you're going to go up and you're going to start making your mountain range. This can be a little bit intimidating, and that's why it's really important for you to practice first. As you can see, I messed up and had to erase, but that's why we use pencil. This is just going to be a jagged line. Don't forget that no mountain looks the same. So if yours looks different than mine, that's okay. It's more authentic that way. If yours looks different from someone else's, that's all right. It's more authentic that way. If you think of your mountains as triangles, you're going to find the line on the left of the triangle and you're going to draw a little shadow. This is what's going to make our mountains look more realistic. You're just going to kind of draw a wavy line on the left side of your mountain. Look at your guide if you need some more help with this. And then from there, we're going to be working on that zigzag line that you drew underneath your horizon line. We're going to be drawing trees. Now, the further back you go when you look at landscapes, the smaller those objects look. So on the very back part of your line, you're going to draw small lines. On the middle line, you're going to draw middle-sized lines. And on the front line, you're going to draw very tall lines. Remember, these are the trunks of your trees. My tall lines in the front even touch my mountains a little bit. Now what I'm doing is shading those wiggly lines that we drew on the left side of the mountain. This is going to make our shadow. I'm just drawing diagonal lines. Now I'm going to start outlining in Sharpie. When you draw your zigzag line, it's okay to make it dotted. I personally think that makes it look more realistic, but you can do whatever you want. Now it's a little easier for you to see my mountains. It's a lot easier now for you to see my trees. The ones in the front I've made a little bit thicker since they look bigger since they're right in front of our face. To make the trees, it's important to remember that these pine trees are shaped kind of like upside down ice cream cones. The top is the smallest part and the bottom is the widest part. I just made this by creating a series of diagonal lines and straight lines. This looks a lot more complicated than it actually is, but I promise if you practice these before you start drawing, you're going to realize that they're a lot easier. Just make all sorts of crisscross lines and it will look like a tree. I'm doing the same on the tiny trees in the back and the middle trees too. Now you can start to see the foreground, the part closest to what you would think of the camera taking a picture. Those trees are bigger, and the trees on the back of the zigzag, they're further away so they look smaller. Now I'm taking an eraser and I'm just erasing all of those pencil lines that I made so there's nothing left that you can see. And that's all we're doing today.